Although some games like Street Fighter transcend the genre and achieve mainstream popularity, fighting games have always been a bit of a niche within video games, loved by some and completely ignored by others. But even among those who love the genre, there's a common complaint. Fighting games tend to lose players extremely fast after the first few weeks. Even games with very successful launches can oftentimes plummet to just 10 or even 1% of that player base within a month to 2 months. So why is that? Well, it's a complicated question, but I think it comes down to a couple of key factors. First off, it's important to talk about all games lose players extremely fast after the first few weeks. This isn't something that's unique to fighting games. It's just a fact of the gaming industry, and it's something that you have to design games around, understanding that a lot of people are going to get your game just to try it, figure that they don't really vibe with it, and kind of put it on the shelf. Fighting games are especially polarizing though, because the core gameplay loop is so similar and doesn't really change. So you have to be somebody who really likes and vibes with the game to just continue to grind out hours and hours on it. This might change particularly with some of the modes in Street Fighter 6, but for the most part, fighting game fans like to play the same game over and over and really iterate on the little nuances of it and improve in small areas. You pretty much know what you're going to get, and if you don't like that a lot, you're probably not going to continue to come back to it. When you start to lose players like this, it creates a really bad downward spiral that can impact a lot of other areas that really affect player retention. Another thing that really hurts fighting games is that the longer the game has been out, the average player skill level goes up. And fighting games, when they're one-sided, really in either direction, if you're stomping someone or if you're getting stomped, it tends to be a lot less fun than if you have close matches. If you're somebody who tries to come into a game even a week after it launches, and the average player already has a week of experience on you, that might be almost an unplayable matchup for you with most of the people you get matched up with. And then you combine that with an already small player count, and you're really going to have a hard time finding matches of equal skill level. Fighting games are a niche genre, and they just don't have the initial player counts of something like a AAA shooter or a battle royale game. Whereas a battle royale game might launch and get 100,000 players, a fighting game could probably be considered successful if it has between 10 and 20,000 on launch. As players start to get less and less, you kind of get the worst of both worlds. You're either forced into a situation where you have extremely long wait times in between matches to try to get somebody of equal player skill, or shorter wait times, but you have very one-sided matches that are hard to have fun with. This can be really frustrating for new players, and it's something that's going to make them move on from the game. Look, obviously this is a super complicated issue that a lot of money has been put into trying to figure out, but this is just a couple of reasons why I see this happening so frequently. Personally, fighting games are still my favorite genre, and I'm part of the 0.1% of players who, if I find a game that I like, I'll just play it for hundreds of hours. That's because I think that fighting games are the most rewarding genre of game if you are willing to put in the time. So what made you move on from a fighting game? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.